Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hardcourt Hunnies presents NBA Twitter. Coming at you again this week with the best, most interesting, or cringeworthy, depending on your perspective, tweets we could find from NBA Twitter this week. How's it going, Taylor?
Good. I'm ready for some tweets.
All right, let's do this. So we've got our ticker going again tonight. Thanks to everybody who is joining us live. And for anybody who watches the replay later, thank you for taking the time. Let us dive right into our tweets for the week. So our first tweet comes from @Top Gibby. I'm not going to play the video because it's really about his question. Kyle Gibson asks, if D Rose never got hurt, would the Bulls have won a championship when he was there?
Yes.
Think so?
Yes.
Just the one? The year he got hurt?
No. I still don't think that team would have won.
You don't think they would have won?
I still don't think so because just Tom Thibodeau. I think that comes down to, I'm not knocking that those weren't great Bulls teams because those were. But the way he worked them so much, you can only go so far.
Right.
And the bench wasn't that deep. Eventually, yes. I mean, the guy won MVP at 23. So without injuries, I would say he would get one. But not with the cast that he had when he was there.
So it would have taken a change in coaching or management or something else as well, you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they've just focused on Derrick Rose and then just didn't tried to mix everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, but with not the current unit that he had.
All right.
That is my take. I love
that works. All right, we'll go on to the next one. This is from @TBW Media. Did peak Carmelo Anthony happen in the Big Apple or the Mile High City?
As a team player, his peak was the Western Conference Finals year with Denver.
Right.
His personal best years were in New York.
Yeah.
Granted, I say peak Team Melo, or Team Melo, as you can, the best you could say with it. Yeah. I would take in Denver over New York Melo, even though he probably overall better statistics and stuff like that. But Melo in Denver was killer.
Yeah.
They were in the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather take peak Denver Melo. And this is I'm a Melo fan.
Right.
I'm a Melo fan. So
even as a Melo fan, see, because my issue with Melo has always been that he never learned to play as part of a unit, in my opinion, properly. I mean, I guess an argument can be made that he's kind of sort of figured it out in Portland for all the good that's going to do. But like, I've always just thought it's such a shame that he didn't have those pieces together when he was in New York.
Yeah.
When he was playing at that level and who he was playing with.
When they were doing well, when he, like the 1 year, the 2 years they made the playoffs, they reminded me of the Eastern Conference LA Clippers.
Right.
Because super fun to watch, great in the regular season, but once you get to the playoffs, it's like, no, there were reasons why you looked really good was because you were playing really garbage teams.
Yeah.
They won the games that they were supposed to win, and then they tried hard in the other half of the games.
Right.
That's what it turned out to be with them.
Yeah, and you just can't get over that hump when like you have to play team basketball in playoffs. One-on-one ISO basketball just doesn't win in the playoffs. It just doesn't.
The best team player, actually, I would say on that team was Tyson Chandler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody else on that team was kind of an individual player.
Yeah.
Like, individually great player, but as a teammate, like, I guess they had Billups, and Chauncey Billups is an amazing teammate, but still.
But one guy can't be the only person willing to that. I shouldn't even say willing. I don't think it's that they weren't willing. I don't even think it's that Melo wasn't willing necessarily. I just don't think he thought it was important enough to.
And also the way they were cycling through coaching.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
You can never get anything going when you're changing
exactly
all the time.
That goes to James Dolan, where it's like, oh, you're not doing anything for me for 2 years? Screw you.
You're not doing over at the beginning.
For the first 30 games, you're not doing anything. Screw you.
Oh, man.
What's that? You don't want to go to my band's concert? Screw you.
All right. We don't want to go too far down the Dolan rabbit hole.
Oh my gosh, we could do that all day again. Another episode.
Right. And I mean, it's always going to be good content, so we'll save it. Okay, so our next tweet is coming from @Operation_1. It's a quote from the one and only Stephen A. Smith. He says that Jimmy Butler is the most underrated player in the NBA. What do you think?
You know my disdain for Jimmy. But I don't deny that he is a very great player. I do not deny that. I just am tired of what his personality did to our team. That's what it did. It put a very ugly style on the Timberwolves, which were already garbage. Someone didn't need to spray paint the garbage.
The boys were soft. The boys were soft in Minnesota. We all knew that.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I was talking about
so then
that.
Why did he have to make a big deal about it?
Because he wanted to play for a team that was tough.
Okay,
I don't blame him.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm not mad that he left. I'm mad that just like, bro, just say you want to trade.
But we give.
Why did he have to go to Rachel Nichols?
We give players.
Why did he have to? No, Jade. Why did he have to go to Rachel Nichols to say, on a team that is barely making the playoffs? If this were a title contending team, then I totally get it. We're the smallest arguably the smallest market in the NBA. The only way he's going to get attention to get out is if he goes to the media directly. Yeah. Do you agree?
Yeah, but don't hate
the player. That's the reason that makes me mad, is the way that he did it. Fine, demand a trade. So many players have done that before. It's not a new feeling for Timberwolves fans. But when you go about it like that.
Well, I think that speaks to the fact, too, though, that he's always felt, I think, misunderstood at every place he's been until he got to Miami. And I think that piles up on a person after a while.
Okay, then. But then why did you have to go? Like, no, you still haven't. Why did he have to do it like he did?
I don't think he had to do it, but I don't think it was. I don't think it
that's
was invalid.
That's why I'm frustrated. There's no valid reason for him to do it. Okay.
But if he wasn't happy where he was, there's no good reason for him not to do it either.
Would if you were a coach, I'm not even with it, because you say you're Jimmy Butler, and so I'm trying to argue my frustrations on what something Jimmy Butler did. That's not gonna. No, I'm done with this one. I'm not saying he's not. No, he's great in Miami. I'm not saying he's a bad talent. I just don't like him. I don't like how he left the team. That's all my feelings on him.
All right.
He's a great player. If you could take his talent, but take that personality away, I would take that player 9 times out of 10.
See, and I don't think he has a personality problem. So.
And it may be not even a problem, just that personality itself. Not saying it's good, not saying it's bad. That personality.
He needed a specific fit, and Minnesota was never going to be it.
No.
Neither was Philadelphia.
Neither was Philadelphia. Neither was Chicago, and it just so happened 4th time's the charm.
Yeah.
4th time.
He would have fit in Toronto too.
You think?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Him and Kyle Lowry would get along.
Yeah, high IQ, both fighters, both are misunderstood and haven't felt like they've got the credit that they deserve. I think they would have got along fine.
Okay. You think anyone would work well in Toronto? So, like, that's the other thing.
No, I absolutely do not think that. I definitely don't think that. There's lots of people.
Who would not work well?
Well, when they were talking about, there's a rumor going on early in the season that they were thinking about acquiring Tristan Thompson. I was like, hell no, I don't want him anywhere near. I don't want him anywhere near my Raptors.
Why not?
I don't care that he's a good rebounder. I don't want no. Nobody that dates a Kardashian would be a good fit for the Raptors. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to move on.
I mean, I'm not arguing that. But I swear, no player cannot perform well in the Raptors system. Because the
Raptors focus on. Because Nick Nurse's whole strategy is I'm going to make you play your best game. So it gives any player the best opportunity. That's his entire coaching philosophy.
That's what. Next tweet.
Moving on. This comes from @mbaboards. And I replied to this one myself on my personal account. What specifically makes you a LeBron hater or lover? Is it his game, his publicity, his attitude, what? So we'll break this down into two parts. First of all, are you a LeBron hater or a LeBron lover?
I'm annoyed with him. I know once he retires and he's not always in the media, I'm going to like him more.
Yeah.
Like,
that's how I feel.
Tired of him always winning.
It's not the winning thing for me.
Like, and then also how he's done things. Just like from team to team to team. And I'm tired of him. It was the same.
Here's
what
what I said when I retweeted it. I said, I have respect for his game. I said, I think he gets too much credit for having created super teams and won that way. And I find him to be just too extra in his personal kind of public persona. Like, you're already the biggest basketball player on the planet, and you have to be so overboard in every single thing that you do. It's just, I find it really unpalatable.
When he tried to patent the phrase Taco Tuesday, that's when I was just like, man, you drank too much of the LA Kool-Aid.
Too much of the Kool-Aid.
Too much of that LA Kool-Aid.
No, it had already been patented by a restaurant decades.
Exactly.
Like,
every other school
somebody had already
years.
But, and also it's like, I don't know, like, for Black people have this thing about cultural appropriation, and you're going to be okay with the Black dude taking Taco Tuesday from Latin America. Like, that seems a little bit hypocritical to me.
I guess, but it's just a phrase. That's all it is. And then he's trying to patent some phrase. It's like, man, you're going to be charging like every other school that, because that was
seriously.
No, when he did that, I was just like, sit down. First stint with the Cavaliers, LeBron is my favorite LeBron. He's not the best LeBron.
No, but
my favorite LeBron.
I feel like his ego was still at a manageable level.
Yes, because I think of the one playoff game against Detroit where he has 25 points, straight points or whatever. Like, no, in that first tenure, that's where I think he's had some of his coolest moments.
Right.
And everything since then, it's just felt like he is a cheat code. I do think he is a cheat code. Especially now when he's added the 3-point game to it. I'm like,
it's not even fair.
It's not. At least, like, when you look at Giannis, there's some things that he can still grow with. Like, LeBron James, when it comes to just being an all-around player, LeBron James, I think, is the best.
Yeah.
When it just becomes of every single aspect, when you average out where he ranks with everything, talent-wise, yes. I don't think he's the greatest of all time because there's other aspects where that comes into place. But when it comes just to pure player, I mean, it's hard to not disagree. I could see he could play any certain era just because he's so big and strong. He might not like playing in the 90s or 80s, but he could.
No, but he's athletically gifted in ways that are going to make you can drop him anywhere, and he's going to do okay.
And that's why,
for sure.
That's why he's in it. Like that's why him and Jordan and like are on a different level of talent, because and a few other players when you can put them in every different level. That's just because they're a great athlete.
Right. And that comes down like 100% to the genetics, which is why I give more credit to a player like a Steph Curry, who to get where he got, he started at a physical disadvantage than those other guys, than your Michaels and your LeBrons and those people who just were blessed with the right genetics to be these crazy
just to be even over 6'6". Just to be over that tall is a genetic freak mutation for me.
When you have skills, it's not even skills. When you have attributes that you can't teach, like you can't teach tall.
You can't,
right?
Like,
so
my dream height was to be 6'7". But now when I see someone that's 6'7", I just look up, and at that point, I'm like, "You're just tall." At this point, you don't have a height. Like when people tell you, "Oh yeah," I can be like, "I'm 6'2" when I have confidence and it's not raining out." But then, like once you get like 6'8", 6'9", I'm like, "You're just to a point where you're tall."
You're just tall.
That's your height. Like on your driver's license, it should just be tall.
Tall.
Just
and even
tall.
Over what height is it? Just tall? 6'6"?
And I would say probably 6'9" is just 6'9". Tall. Okay. And then if you're over 400 pounds on your driver's license, it should just say, yeah, definitely.
I was like, in my brain, I'm going, okay, where is he going with this?
When you're that tall or that large, you could just be tall and then wait, yeah. So it just be just giant 7'2", 480-pound dude. But how did we get to this? Oh yeah, genetic mutations on being super talented. You can't teach height. And there's that. Next, what's the next tweet? What you got for me, Jade?
Yeah, let's come back from our tangent here. Our next tweet is courtesy of @Stadium. It's a video that is an interview with Shams Charania and his cantor. Celtics center Enes Kanter told our NBA insider, Shams Charania, that he has been offered a WWE deal and plans to accept after his career. How's that news hit you, Taylor?
I mean, by all means, do it. But at the same time, I don't hate WWE. I hate Vince McMahon.
Okay.
That's my only thing. Like WWE, we all know it's fake, but they're still doing real moves. Like that's the one thing with it. Like, yeah, it's all planned, but that guy's still jumping 15 feet off of a ladder right onto a person. Like, you can't fake that. And I'm just worried about his health, because if you're not a big name wrestler, you get like no health coverage once you're done. And you have all these health issues. Yeah, there's a huge, like, if you're not a big name, if you're just like some fill-in, so like you can have John Cena beat up that random dude. If you're one of those random dudes, but then again, he's Enes Kanter. He's going to come in already be a big name. Rob Gronkowski.
He doesn't have to build a name. He's coming.
He's gonna be protected and everything. If anything, he's just gonna be more in goof off segments with just like other celebrities.
Okay, so you don't think it's gonna be a serious? You don't think it's gonna be
like by all means, Enes Kanter, it's his personality. It works. WWE is a big influence in the not the WNBA, in the NBA right now, because everyone gets themselves a title belt now when they win the championship. Good for him. Just watch your back there, Enes. That's all I got to say for that. Watch your back. Check your six.
All right.
Check your neck.
All right. Moving on. Our next tweet comes from @SportsH2H. It's a poll this week. Wednesday weigh-in, so it's from yesterday. Who was better, Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell?
I like Bill more.
Mm-hmm. I feel a but coming.
Bill was a smarter player.
Okay.
And Wilt was a more talented player because Wilt he was like a LeBron when it came to just genetic freak of nature because he was also all conference track star and high jump in college. And like the guy was a gazelle that also had an affair with a giraffe because he was so tall.
He's the love child between a giraffe and a gazelle. Is that what you just said?
That is what he is. Because he was. I'm not saying Bill Russell wasn't athletic, but Wilt Chamberlain was on another level. So Bill Russell had to do it more with his head.
Yeah.
And that's why he has
kind of talked about a bit before.
And this is where he has more titles. It's because they both had great teams. So like that's the thing. Like when it comes down to it, then it's like who plays better together?
Right.
I mean, you can't argue like Wilt Chamberlain had Jerry West. He had Elgin Baylor. He had a couple other great players. He had the logo. Talent, Wilt Chamberlain. Overall, I pick Bill. You're
going to go with Bill.
I just like what he has done for the NBA so much, and I like his laugh. I like his laugh.
All right, so our next tweet is one of those ones that I came across and I went, really, dude? Really? So we'll see what your take on it is. It comes from @QuailBanks. Shaquille O'Neal was better than LeBron. That's the whole tweet.
Shaquille O'Neal was better than LeBron?
Yeah.
No. I mean, Shaq may be more dominant.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. No. Who said that? Who said that?
It's @Quail _S. So @QuailBanks.
@QuailBanks?
Yeah.
What? Tweet at me later. I want to know what you mean by that. Like, are we talking dominant? Like, we got. What are we describing with it? Like, because just saying voted best.
So this will be our first homework. We'll have to.
No,
we'll have to
LeBron,
ask
no. Shaq more dominant as a player, but LeBron's just better.
So just for the record, this tweet has no likes and no comments. So
that's why.
It seems like there's a bit of a consensus there.
You know what my comment is? No comment, and I don't like it.
All right, moving on. I think that's about all there is that needs to be said. A little piece of news that came out for the NBA. This tweet comes from Chase DLS 18. Starting in the 21-22 season, the NBA will switch from Spalding to Wilson as its official basketball manufacturer. Had you heard that?
Yeah, I did.
I see your face. You don't like it.
I've grown up with Spalding. So that's my only issue. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, maybe Wilson might do something